This podcast is part of the Deluxe Edition Network. To find other great shows on the network, head over to deluxeeditionnetwork.com. That's deluxeeditionnetwork.com.
The Deluxe Edition Network, also known as The Den, is an incredible podcast network that offers a wide variety of entertaining and informative podcasts.
With a lineup of shows covering various topics, such as interviews with a wide variety of guests, history, music, relationships, true crime, and so much more. The Den provides content that caters to a diverse range of interests.
The hosts and guests on the Deluxe Edition Network demonstrate a deep passion and expertise in their respective fields, making each episode on each show engaging and thought-provoking.
The network fosters a sense of community by encouraging listeners to interact through live chats, social media, and forums, creating an inclusive environment for discussion and sharing opinions.
With its commitment to high-quality production, the shows in the Deluxe Edition Network continue to captivate and entertain its ever-growing audience.
Whether you're a podcast enthusiast or someone looking to explore new topics, The Den is a fantastic platform to dive into and uncover fascinating insights from experts in their fields.
The Deluxe Edition Network is the home of independent awesomeness.
To find all these great podcasts in one convenient location, head over to deluxeeditionnetwork.com. That's deluxeeditionnetwork.com.
Hey everybody, welcome to episode 141 of Films and Fermentation. That's right, we are Films and Fermentation, a movie and alcohol podcast. I'm Leo.
I'm Kevin.
I'm Mike.
Warning, this episode is rated I for inebriation. Because we are three friends who like to talk shit about movies while getting shit-faced. In this episode, very simple, we're looking at the most anticipated films of 2024. Yes, we know it is late February, but it wasn't until the Super Bowl when a lot of these trailers were dropped for the first time. So we thought now would be a good time to kind of look at some of the upcoming films that are going to be released from this month on through the end of the year. I know I'm excited about a few. We'll talk about them as we get to the main segment. In the meantime, don't forget to drop us an email.
Sorry, I jumped the gun.
Theaters near you. Don't forget to drop us an email, filmsandfermentation@gmail.com, or visit linktree.com/filmsandfermentation to find all of our social media and podcast links, including our website, filmsandfermentation.weebly.com.
Hey, look, I've checked that out recently. It's pretty awesome. You should check it out. There's pictures.
Kevin
other shit.
Yeah, Kevin didn't know we had a website, and we've had it for 140 episodes, so it came as quite a surprise to him.
Who looks at the internet anymore? I'm on Instagram. I'm on social media. That's where I reside. Give me these www, the World Wide Web.
Interwebs.
I'm on the TikToks, the Snapchats.
Ooh, what? Become part of the Films and Fermentation. Speaking of social media, please go to Patreon to support us, or go to teespring.com and buy our merchandise. Mike is sporting our t-shirt this evening, or one of our t-shirts. We have t-shirts, hoodies, hats, stickers, mugs, no hats, mugs, mouse pads, I think, are on there. I don't know. There's a bunch of shit on there, but they all our logos on
it. Get our hats specially made.
We're a part of the Deluxe Edition Network. Find out more about us and the other podcasts at The Den by going to deluxeeditionnetwork.com. You can find out information about our podcast and our fellow podcast of the month, Friends Talking Nerdy. We'll be right back after these messages from Coffee Brothers.
I love a good beer, but right now I could use a good cup of coffee.
Have you heard about Coffee Brothers?
Oh, yeah, they're that coffee company out of New York City, right?
Well, they're more like these coffee wizards of New York City. They source these amazing seasonal blends and single origin coffees. It's like a flavor adventure in every cup. And get this, they roast everything in small batches. None of that mass-produced stuff. It's like each bean gets the VIB treatment.
VIB?
Very important bean.
Sounds fancy. But is it worth it?
Definitely. Plus, they're a two-person team. I mean, that's dedication right there. Two brothers, one mission to caffeinate the world. And right now, you can save 10% on your order. I mean, who doesn't love a good discount?
All right, you've convinced me. Let's get some Coffee Brothers now.
Coffee Brothers, where every cup is a sip of perfection. Save 10% on your next order with the code FNF10. That's FNF10. Cheers to great coffee. All right, we are back from that short little break. Gentlemen, what are we drinking this evening?
Alcohol.
Yeah, I'll go first. So I was originally going to drink some of those new Sam Adams that Kevin brought to my house the other night when we got together, but I decided I'm going to save those for Quizzo Saturday. So instead tonight, I am drinking something else that is new because I wanted to stick to the new theme since we're talking about new movies. So I am drinking a new bourbon that I recently picked up called Heaven Hill Kentucky Straight Bourbon. 50% alcohol by volume, 100 proof. It is a 7-year aged bourbon from Haven Hill Distillery in Louisville, Kentucky. It's a very good bourbon. I'm not doing the straight tonight, though, so I mixed it with a little ginger ale in my mason glass, but that's what I'm drinking tonight. So who's next?
Go ahead.
So, I am drinking a beer that my good buddy Leo brought to me from the Warhorse Brewing. It is No Strings Attached, the Belgian White.
Yep, that's a good one.
So far.
Got the nice horsey on it. Kevin, what are you drinking?
I have gone back into the mystery craft box that my wife got me. This must have been the scratch and dent one because it's banged up quite a bit. But this is from Sloop Brewing. It is a Juicier Bomb Double Northeast IPA. So you guys know I'm going to love this. It is brewed and canned by Sloop Brewing Company in Hopewell Junction, New York, and Hampton, New Hampshire. It is an 8% alcohol by volume beer. Only says the Sloop Bomb series, hazy, yay, juicy. I'm okay with juicy. Real hop flavor. That's what I'm going to love the most about this.
It'll be awesome. It looks tasty.
To wash it down later, I have myself a Vault Brewing Bear Hug, which is 6% alcohol by volume, which this is a nitro oatmeal stout. And I think Vault Brewing is up in Yardley, if I'm correct. Yardley.
Yeah, I said the name sounded familiar. I knew they were somewhat local. So we're all drinking something. We're all drinking something new tonight, pretty much. We kind of all stuck to the theme. Like, what's the ABV on that No Strings Attached?
What does it say? 4.9.
That's hoppy.
Yeah, I knew it wasn't like super strong because I killed those already when in my pack.
But speaking of Quizzo,
yeah.
So this week I've been down in Marcus Hook all week.
Okay.
So I've been down Naaman's Road.
Yeah.
Guess what's back?
What's back?
The Devil's Backbone Orange Smash Bourbon.
Nice.
Got 2 4-packs.
Nice. That is some good bourbon. Did they have the vegetable beer?
I did not look for that.
Anyway, Mike, anything? What
I
were you
did
gonna
give Adrian a fruit punch Flavor Town cocktail.
say? Okay.
You know, it's got Guy Fieri on it and it's Flavor Town shit.
Anything special happened this week, Mike?
This week in film history. In 1934, It Happened One Night, directed by Frank Capra and starring Clark Gable and Claudette Colbert, opens in New York City's Radio Music Hall. Academy Award for Best Picture, Director, Actor, Actress, and Screenplay in 1935.
I mentioned this last week when we were talking about how Silence of the Lambs was the last film to win the Big Five.
Yep.
And there have only been 3 movies, and It Happened One Night is the first film to achieve that back in 1935.
Then in 1935, The Little Colonel premieres starring Shirley Temple, Lionel Barrymore, and Bill Robinson, featuring famous stair dance with featuring the famous stair dance with Hollywood's first interracial dance couple.
Meaning Shirley Temple and the Butler.
Yeah.
No, I think it might have been Lionel Barrymore.
Yeah.
Yes, you're
It's
correct.
like, God.
Oh.
It was
30s.
1935.
I
What do you
know. That's
expect?
why I'm like shaking my head like Jesus.
By the way, Lionel Barrymore played Old Man Potter in that movie that Leo's loves so much. It's a Wonderful Life.
I watch it all the time. It's got me worried when we do the potluck movies that one of you motherfuckers are going to tell me I got to watch that one.
I will not do that to you, Lee. I will not. I swear to God, I will not.
I make no promises.
Yeah, one of you guys tell me I have to watch that. You're watching the serial killer dick movie. What's your next back, Mike?
In 1952, American Queen film, directed by John Hudson, starring Humphrey Bogart and Katharine Hepburn, is released in the U.S.
That'll be John Huston.
Oh, sorry,
As
Houston.
Angelica Houston's father, who was an Academy Award-winning director. This is a movie that won Humphrey Bogart his Best Acting Oscar in 1953.
And they even put a box down for him when he gave his acceptance speech.
I think it was like a career Oscar because he should have got one for Casablanca instead.
Mm.
What's your next one there?
In 1958, the 15th Golden Globes, The Bridge on the River Kwai. Alec Guinness and Joanne Woodward win.
And then in 1959, Alec Guinness would win the Oscar for Best Supporting Actor for the same movie, The Bridge on the River Kwai. Or Best Actor, I'm sorry, Best Lead Actor in a film. And your last one, Mike, good luck with the Russian names.
Yeah, no kidding. In 1958, adaptation of Fyodor Dostoevsky's
Murder, Dostoevsky.
Murder.
The
Brothers Karamazov, starring Yul Brynner and featuring William Shatner, film debut premieres in the New York City Music Hall.
Radio City Musical in New York City. And you did good on the title. It's the Brother Karamazov. You got that one right. The author's name is Fyodor Dostoevsky.
That's Fyodor?
Fyodor Dostoevsky.
Alvin Simon Fyodor.
I'm not gonna lie, Mike. The only reason I know how it's pronounced is because I'm an English major and I had to read this shit. So I don't think I'd be able to pronounce Dostoevsky either. So that's it for this week in film history. Do you have any must-try beer or craft destinations for us this week?
Must-try beer. This is Out of Line West Coast IPA, Rogues Ales, Newport, Oregon. Rogues does what they do best here. Throw old school pine and citrus hops into old school IPA. West Coast style is the target. but the 6.9 ABV, 66 IBU brew pours dark copper with some haze and a lot of fluff on top. Hops delivers dryness on the palate rather than the expected smackdown of bitterness, and there is even a bit of fruity sweetness from the somewhat chewy malt backdrop. It's more like a Pacific Northwest style arrogant bastard, but how could we possibly be a bad thing? I don't know. It's
I
an
don't know
IPA.
if the word chewy should ever be in the description of a beer.
It's when it's got the pulp in it.
It's got a chewy malt.
It's like that one I got from Double Nickel one time, the pool noodle, where it had pulp in it. It was chewy.
Or
No,
the
it's not vegetable
beer that I was talking about earlier. It had actual fucking like tomato skins and
This
shit
is
in
a
the bottom
cookie
of
dough
it.
flavored beer, and I got chunks of cookie dough.
I would take that. I'm okay with
I would
chunks of
take
cookie
that,
dough.
yes.
I'll take a cookie dough chunk in my beer. I don't want veggies. I want veggies. I'll have a salad.
I got
need
a
the
sourdough
fiber.
chunk of sourdough pretzel in my beer.
Oh no, that one was more like a freaking backwash ocean water. One of these days, Kev, I will remember to ask you in pre-show if you actually have a beer news is good news segment this evening or not.
Beer news is good news.
Of course, I got some beer news is good news.
All right, good. So tonight is here's Kevin with some beer news is good news.
All right, I don't remember if I mentioned this on a previous show. You guys
I should
might be
point
able
out
to
you've only
refresh-
done this segment 3 times now, so if you don't remember if you did this on a previous show or not.
Well, you know, there's so much beer news that I give to you guys on a week by week basis. I can't recall everything that I tell you.
I know you sent something out to us not too long ago, but it hasn't been on the podcast. Was the saving
No.
of the brewery?
Yeah, somebody saved the Flying Fish.
Yeah, somebody saved the Flying Fish.
There was a Flying Fish brewery or something that was going out of business.
Yes, it was Flying Fish that was going out of business. They didn't save the brewery. They are saving the brew. They
Okay.
are saving the type of beer. They're going to produce it and distribute. But the location that we have near us is on the way of the dodo. So,
Well, at least they saved the brew.
yeah, at least they saved the brew, which is good because we enjoy I enjoy this sea and salt. That's one of their summer beers. So we'll have to see how it develops, how long it takes for the new. I want to say the name of the brewery is Guilford. For some reason, that's sticking out in my head. I'd have to look it up for sure. But in previous episodes, had I mentioned the gentleman from Back Channel Brewing, who was caught on camera in his own brewery, who got knocked over when one of the casks, that the brewing casks, lost its fitting on the end and got pretty much hosed down with his own brew. Did I mention that before? Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
a few weeks ago.
That's definitely new.
That was one that I know I wanted to mention and probably just forgot. But a few weeks ago, a Minnesota brewery named Back Channel Brewing caught on video one of its brewers, one of its employees, routinely checking one of the valves on the beer tank, and the valve malfunctioned. And what you see is kind of like, remember that scene in UHF where Michael Richards takes the fire hose, sits a kid on a saddle, and it's his birthday, and he takes the fire hose and he unleashes the fire hose on the kid, and the kid goes flying.
Yes.
Same thing happened to this brewer. Okay. The valve had a malfunction, and the next thing you see is the brewer flying across the brewery floor to another tank. He gets up and he quickly shuts off the valve, right? And it was an IPA that they were brewing at the time. Well, to make lemonade out of lemons, what the brewery is doing is they're taking the rest of the batch that was in that beer tank.
They shot vacked it and started serving it.
Close, Michael. They're taking the rest of the batch that was in that beer tank, and they are selling it as a limited release, obviously, called the Blowback New England IPA. So I can't recall ever having anything from Back Channel Brewing, but it's entertaining. I'm not even a big IPA fan. I've been drinking more than recently, but it's just really a good way of taking advantage of the viralness of the video that happened and getting the name out there for the brewery, and not having to waste a whole tank of beer. So be on the lookout for Blowback New England IPA from Back Channel Brewing. I'm not sure if it's going to be something just in their brewery or whether it's going to be something that they distribute out to the markets that carry them.
Yeah, I found that article you sent us, Kev, about Flying Fish. They were originally going to merge with Cape May Brewing, but Cape May pulled out of the deal a couple weeks afterward.
Mm-hmm.
They're not reopening the brewery, but they're selling. What is it? I'm looking for
the beer recipes, right?
So it's going to be like the recipes, some of their so it's their name, their brand, and rights to their wholesale distribution contract was sold to a Baltimore-based brewery called Guilford Hall.
I thought it was Guilford.
Yeah, so they're gonna distribute the Flying Fish brand, but it's not going to be out of the brewery that's local here. So, but at least the brand lives on.
By local here, we're referring to New Jersey.
Yes, our local.
Our local.
So that was beer news is good news. I have some notes from last show. So our last show, we were talking about Blazing Saddles and its 50th anniversary. And I had mentioned on the show that there was a Blazing Saddles TV series that was developed after the film came out. The show premiered in 1975 and was canceled after one episode. But the episode is available for free on YouTube in its entirety. Stars Louis Gossett Jr. as Black Bart, and the show itself is called Black Bart, not called Blazing Saddles. He is the only character from the movie to appear in the TV show. The rest are all new characters. I watched the episode. I can see why it was canceled.
It doesn't surprise me, Lee, because if you think a documentary about paint drying was good, you'd probably like that.
I would probably give it a shot.
I'll check it out. Let's see what all the buzz is.
Yeah.
I watched that movie about the octopus teacher.
Oh, that's a really good documentary. Don't knock that shit. That won an Oscar.
That's a really good one.
That one won an Oscar. But yeah, I watched the show
to it, the Flounder CPA.
Yeah. So, but the Blazing Saddles TV show, apparently, from stuff I was reading about it, they had filmed 4 seasons worth of episodes.
What?
Which in the 70s that would have been like 20 episodes a season. So they filmed like 80 episodes.
80 episodes.
Which studio decided to take this on as such a?
I don't remember. I think it was probably Warner Brothers. But it's
Warner Brothers did Blazing Saddles, so I would.
They did the movie, so it might have been. I don't know if they would have did the TV show too, but they filmed 4 seasons worth of episodes. From what I read, I don't know if it's absolutely true or not. But the show was canceled after 1 episode. So hypothetically, if they did do all those episodes, they're out there somewhere still.
They're in a can.
They should have gone with their first casting decision for Black Bart, which was Wesley Snipes.
Yeah, he would have been like 12 at the time. Yeah, it was Warner Brothers Burbank Studios that produced it. I guess they had enough money to take a bite in the ass, but yeah, it was not good. It was
a pretty big bite in the ass.
It was a lot of canned laughter, stale jokes, and use of the N-word, which they got away with on TV in the 70s, I guess. But
they did.
But it was
they did.
It was definitely not the movie. And then speaking of Mel Brooks, there's a new podcast. It's only a few episodes been released so far. It's called Talking Pictures. I can't remember the name of the host, but he's like a historian for like AMC and AFI and stuff like that. And he interviewed Mel Brooks on his latest episode. Mel Brooks is 97 years old, but that man can give a hell of an interview even at 97 years old. He recalls details of stories from like his 20s with like pinpoint accuracy. It's fucking amazing. And it was a 35-minute episode, but it was really, really fun to listen to because he's just so full of history, you know.
Was it hosted by Richard Attenborough?
No, it was not Richard Attenborough, who passed away. That would be really weird.
Oh, wait. Who am I thinking of then?
David Attenborough, his brother.
David Attenborough.
No, it's not David Attenborough. I can't remember. I know the guy. I know who the guy is, but I can't remember his name. But he's like a host on like AMC and all those like channels. All right, that takes us to synopsis according to Glip. Synopsis according to Glip is brought to you by Newsly.me. Newsly.me is an audio super app for iOS and Android that reads the news to you in a natural human voice. Stop scrolling, start listening. Go to Newsly.me today and use the promo code NFerment to get your first month premium subscription for free. So again, our last episode 140, was the 50th anniversary of Blazing Saddles. In that episode, Leo talked about the blog section and the essay he wrote on Blazing Saddles.
He did.
Kevman was drinking beer today because they are happy with the beer they have been drinking and they will move on to the lager from Flying Dog. Sometimes Glip forgets about punctuation. Kevman said the 23rd is the 17th and the 16th is for the 15th.
Sends me my math skills.
This was you were talking about the secret movie night at the Chamonix Brewing and you had the dates wrong.
Oh, by the way, the secret movie night for the Chamonix Brewing is tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Friday the 23rd.
So for you last week, the 23rd was the 17th because the 15th was the 16th, something like that.
Apparently.
The hosts had a lot to say because they hate when people say that a film cannot be made nowadays and it bothers them. The hosts are discussing the 50th anniversary of Blazing Saddles and a synopsis of the movie. Mike discussed the beer quality of the brewer in ancient Babylonia and the taste of bad beer.
And then they got drowned.
Yeah, that was your beer fact. That was they killed the brewer if the beer tastes bad.
Or killed the brewer, they drowned him.
So that was
they drowned him in the beer or not, but you know.
Yeah. So that was our synopsis according to Glip. We'll be right back after some short promos from a couple of our friends over at the Deluxe Edition Network. When we come back, we're going to look at our main segment, a preview of the movies that are going to be coming out this year, 2024. We'll be right back.
Are you a fan of all things nerdy? Do you love delving into the latest pop culture trends while also staying updated on the news of the day?
Hey there, fellow enthusiasts. Professor Aubrey here, and I'm thrilled to invite you to join us on Friends Talking Nerdy podcast, where we dive deep into all things geeky, from movies and TV shows to video games and comics.
That's right, folks. It's Tim the Nerd, your friendly neighborhood geek, ready to discuss the latest professional wrestling updates alongside our takes on tech innovations and the entertainment industry.
But that's not all. We also understand the importance of mental health, and we weave in thoughtful discussions on self-care and mindfulness.
So, if you want to geek out while also taking care of your well-being, tune in to Friends Talking Nerdy.
Friends Talking Nerdy, where pop culture meets mindfulness. Listen now on all major podcast platforms.
This podcast is part of the Deluxe Edition Network. To find other great shows on the network, head over to deluxeeditionnetwork.com. That's deluxeeditionnetwork.com.
Hey man, what's your bacon?
You gotta tell everybody what that means first.
It's that extra side topping or main course in life that makes everything about your day even better.
Whether it's movies, music, cooking, paranormal, video games, whatever it is that helps you unwind, maybe even get a little bit inspired. We talk to hot new bands.
We are Felicity.
And this is Bradley from Emerosa.
TV personalities.
Hi, my name is Rachel Pizzolatto.
Hi, my name is Patty Negri.
Wrestling personalities.
Hi everybody, I am Eric Bischoff, WWE Hall of Famer, The Godfather here.
your actors,
This is Sean Kanan. Thank you for joining us.
fellow podcasters,
Emo Social Club.
ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Dave Schrader, pretty much any like-minded creative across all facets of the entertainment industry.
You can check out Bacon Is My Podcast on all streaming platforms, as well as the Strangerhood TV YouTube channel. New episodes dropping every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Listen in when we find the answer to the question,
what's your bacon?
All right, we are back from that short break with our main segment, a look at the movies of 2024.
Coming soon to theaters.
Coming soon to theaters. I missed the movie phone guy. Hello,
I miss Movie
and
Phone guy.
welcome to Movie Phone. Brought to you by
and
PHL
welcome to
17.
Movie Phone. Brought to you by Doritos
No,
and
I'm
Coca-Cola.
the guy that does the trailers. In a world where
In a world.
In a word.
In a world.
where Molly wants to dig under Kevin's chair.
In a world where dogs have ears like Yoda.
They're talking about you, Molly. The guys are talking about you.
For showtimes, press 1.
If you know the name of the movie
The
you'd like to see,
choose,
press 1
2
now.
For Jurassic Park, press 1. But
For
that
Elixir
is
Showtimes at the Orleans 8, press 1.
Yeah. So we're reminiscing about the 90s, but let's move on to 2024 now as we look at the most anticipated films of the upcoming year. For this, I'm using a list that was on RottenTomatoes.com. There are plenty of other websites out there covering films, but I thought Rotten Tomatoes had a fairly comprehensive list of movies. Now, it is February 22nd as we are recording this episode. So we've already missed the January releases, which was Mean Girls, the musical, starring Tina Fey, Tim Meadows. Tina Fey wrote the original Mean Girls script and wrote the script as well. And we also missed the release of Argyle, new film from Matthew Vaughn, starring Bryce Dallas Howard, Sam Rockwell, Henry Cavill, John Cena, Dua Lipa, Bryan Cranston, Sophia Boutella, and Sam Jackson. I was kind of excited to see this because I like the Kingsman films, but it got blasted.
My father saw it and he said he really liked it. So I'm not sure if that's a ringing endorsement, though. I know the kind of movies my father likes. So
Like I said, I like the Kingsman movies that Matthew Vaughn directed, and it has that feel to it. So I mean, I'm never one that really goes by the critics anyway, as you know from the movies I told you I watched earlier this week.
Yeah, I'm about to say, unless it got a really, really bad review, and you'll still watch those anyway.
Also released this month is a film called also another Matthew Vaughn film. This one is called Lisa Frankenstein.
Was released on the 9th.
Yes, released on February 9th. Stars Catherine Newton, Cole Sprouse, and Carla Gugino. Written by Diablo Cody, who wrote Juno and Jennifer's Body. It is a twist on the Mary Shelley horror story Frankenstein, where Catherine Newton stars as a misunderstood teenager named Lisa, whose crush is a young man from the Victorian era who happens to be buried in the cemetery behind her home. He is mysteriously brought back to life, and the two embark on an unlikely romance. Sounds almost like Warm Bodies. Which was a take on Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah.
All right. Also recently released, was released on Valentine's Day, is Bob Marley One Love, which is a biopic about the life of Bob Marley. Also a movie that got some middling reviews, saying that it's kind of like just okay.
So they got Kingsley Benadir to play Bob Marley. The only thing I can recall him from, or at least that sticks out in my head, is the Secret Invasion, Marvel Secret Invasion that came out. And he was good in it, for what it was. But then I see him portraying Bob Marley. He's built different. Bob was slender. He had a very thin frame. This guy is a very broad-shouldered, muscular man. So he does a great job with the accent, from what I hear. And it looks like it could be a decent movie. I don't know.
Like it got it got some like like reviews that it's just like a standard biopic, like nothing special about it. I don't know. I mean, I'm willing to give it a shot. He was previously in a movie called One Night in Miami, which was a story about this one night where Malcolm X, Jim Brown, Sam Cooke, and Cassius Clay all hung out together. And in that film, he plays Malcolm X, Kingsley Benadir. So that was like his big break.
And what was the setting of the film?
Des Moines.
Oh, good.
Wah, wah, wah.
All right, another movie that's been totally blasted by critics and fans alike. Just released again
Even
on
its own
Valentine's Day.
actresses.
Yeah, Dakota Johnson is a fucking trip. Like she bashes every movie she's in. Like it was like she was in the 50 Shades of Grey trilogy, and it was like, so what can you tell us about these films? Oh, they're trash. And she's like, they asked her, what made you do this? So we're talking about Madam Web, in case you don't know, where she plays Madam Web. It is a.
Is she a little young for Madam Web?
Yeah, that's the thing. Well, they kind of like said I saw like the ending online on like somebody like did like a spoiler thing on YouTube. She kind of ends up becoming the version of Madam Web that we know, where she's blind and in a wheelchair and all that stuff.
Okay.
But he was asked in an interview recently, why'd you do this film, or what made you want to do this film? And she's like, well, my agent called me and told me they were paying me $9 million.
Jesus Christ.
It's like, good for you,
One of the
Dakota.
junkets she was on, the interviewer had asked her if she could name the 3 Tom Holland Spider-Man movies. And she was just completely lost. She goes, Spider-Man, Here I Am. Spider-Man, There I Go. And Spider-Man, The Goblet of Spider-Man. You know, like she just totally blew
Spider-Man
it.
and the Goblet of Fire. But she's a trip, man. Like I love it though. I want to hear her musings on every movie she's in, man, because it's just like it's fantastic. The only time I ever
Well,
heard
there
her,
aren't going to be many more the way she's acting in these movies.
What do you think about this movie you just did? Well, I'm in it.
Yeah.
What's up?
Well, the first thing she was in a movie called Night at the Royale or something like that, which is like a suspense thriller film with Thor Hemsworth, and she was really good at that, and she talked highly of the film because it was a good movie. This is a piece of trash, and she knew it, but she got paid $9 million for it. I'd fucking do it too. Like, I play Madam Web. I'm a fat white man, but I'll play Madam Web. I don't care. All right. Now we're starting to get into the films that have not been released yet, but are on the way. I figure what we can do for this is I'll mention the film, and you can tell me.
The next one got released 2 days ago.
Well, the next one I have on here is Driveway Dolls, which says opening on February 23rd. That's tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so,
Tomorrow.
as of the recording of this episode, it's February 22nd as we're recording this. It's going to be dropping on the 27th, but so most of these films will not have been released yet. So what I figure we can do with this is I'll give you a brief description of the film and who's starring in it. And on a scale of 1 to 5, tell me how excited you are about this film. 1 being I could give a shit, and 5 being I can't wait. So the first one, coming out on February 23rd, directed by Ethan Coen, one of the Coen brothers, starring Margaret Qualley, who I know from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Benny Fieldstein, who is the younger sister of Jonah Hill, Pedro Pascal, and Matt Damon in a small role, called Driveway Dolls. It's a road trip comedy about a pair of friends played by Margaret Qualley and Geraldine Viswanathan, whose road trip to Tallahassee is disrupted when they cross paths with a group of inept criminals. From what I've seen in the trailers for this, it has that sort of quirky Coen brothers like feel to it.
Right.
But this is Ethan Coen's first solo debut as a first solo directorial film. So I'm curious to see like if he handles directing without his brother as well as his brother handled it, because Joel Cohen did Green Book himself, so and that won Best Picture. So on a scale of 1 to 5, this interests you guys at all?
It is enough to get me to. It's enough that I will watch it either on streaming or cable, but I don't think I'm going to go out to the theaters to see it.
Yeah,
I'm
I would
definitely
say-
not renting it from Blockbuster.
Yeah.
Or
I'm renting it from West Coast Video. How would we do this? 1 for I can give a shit about it. 2, 3, and 4 will be reserved for like how excited you would be to watch it on streaming. And 5 would be like, I'm definitely making a trip to the theater for this one.
Okay.
I would give this a streaming 3.
I think that's where I lie.
3, yeah.
3, yeah. Like it looks interesting. I like the Coen brothers. Mark Qualley is what's that actress's name? She is the daughter of the one that was in 4 Weddings and a Funeral with
Andy McDowell?
She's Andy McDowell's daughter. Yeah. Nepo baby. The next one coming out in February 23rd is called Stop Motion. It's a horror film. It looks original.
It looks disturbing.
I don't know really anybody who's in the film. I don't know any of these actors. It says Tom York. Tom York was the lead singer of Radiohead. I don't know if it's that Tom York or not.
I thought he played Darren on Bewitched.
That's Dick York. He's dead.
This is a horror movie.
Yeah. For
That doesn't
anyone
mean
bemoaning
anything.
the lack of original horror films, we have this gem that originally premiered at the Fantastic Fest last year. Directed by Robert Morgan, who co-wrote with Robin King. The film centers on a stop-motion animator who suddenly becomes obsessed with her latest film when a neighbor suggests the addition of a monstrous new character. And I saw the trailer for it. It looks pretty wild, like a pretty fucked up premise. Again, I'm probably more likely to watch a horror film than you guys are. At least one like this. I would give this a gentleman's 3.5 on streaming. Like, I'll probably watch it when it premieres on, like, Netflix or something.
I'm going to give it a 1.
I'm probably going to say 1.5 maybe.
You guys
1.
are not as big on the horror films as I am, so
No.
at least not this type of horror film.
No.
So that takes us to March 1st. I'm gonna say before I even describe this film that it's not on a scale of 1 to 5 for me. This one goes to 11. The first film coming out March 1st, 2024, directed by Denis Villeneuve, starring Timothy Chalamet, Zendaya, Rebecca Ferguson, Javier Bardem, Josh Brolin, and Stellan Skarsgård. Dune Part 2.
It's a small little independent movie.
Yeah, I am so fucking psyched for this film.
Since it's coming out on streaming, so it's definitely a big 4.
It is for me. This is. I would go to the theater to see this. It does. I don't know if it has a day and date release. Like the first one was a day and date release on HBO Max, so it released in theaters, but also came out on Max at the same time. I don't know if they're doing that with the second part, or if it's just going to be a theater release.
I think the first one got such great reviews, they're not going to screw around by putting it on streaming right away.
Yeah, from all the early reviews that I've read, most of them are calling this a modern masterpiece. That it's better than the first part, that it captures the spirit of the novel that it's based on, that the performances are great. I know from the first film that the cinematography was so fucking beautiful, I had to rewatch it because I missed shit. Because I was staring at the background so much. And I watched the first part again the other night to refresh my memory of. Not that I don't know Dune enough. I read the novel like a dozen times already. But I'm so psyched. It's my favorite book of all time. I actually enjoy the David Lynch version of it. I like the sci-fi version of it that came out in 2000. And I really, really like part 1, and part 2 just looks amazing. And then you got Austin Butler, who played Elvis in the Elvis film last year, playing one of the Harkonnens, Fade, who was played by Sting in the David Lynch film, looking psychotic in this movie. I'm so jazzed for it.
Yeah.
And you have the addition of Austin Butler, like I said, Christopher Walken as the Emperor in an actual like serious role and not a goofy, strange Chris Walken role.
I want the spice.
And
I'm here for the
Florence
spice.
Pugh, Florence Pugh as the Emperor's daughter, Princess Irulan. So I'm really, really excited. And I found out Anya Taylor-Joy is in it too, but they're not releasing who the character is she's playing yet. It's going to be like a surprise. So I'm like really, really excited about this. Yeah, Christopher Walken. The spice must flow.
You can't have it all to yourself. Needs more spice, Bell.
We have to kill Paul Atreides. Wow. I mean,
what you doing with your eyes? Why are they blue? You're kind of creeping me out, kid.
The next film coming out March 8th is another horror film. This one's called Imaginary.
Not get confused with it.
Not to be confused with one that's coming up later this year. It's an actual kids film. This one is a horror film from Blumhouse, who is, a popular movie company for horror films, who moves back into about a woman who moved back into her childhood home with her family, only to discover her stepdaughter has become attached to a stuffed bear she found in the basement that compels her to engage in increasingly dangerous games. So it's like an imaginary friend that talks her into doing really bad things.
I'm telling you, man, ever since Winnie the Pooh went public, people are just going left and right with this storyline.
Yo, I just saw the trailer for Blood and Honey 2. Tigger appears in this one.
Folks.
The first one sucked. The second
So you're
one
going to see the second to see
I'm
if
going to
they
see
correct
the second one because the costumes look better and Tigger's in that shit. It's called what the fuck was it called? It was like Blood and Honey 2, and then it had like a weird moniker after it. I can't. Yeah, and Tigger 2. That'd be great. So this one is about an imaginary friend that tells the girl to do dangerous shit. Kung Fu Panda 4 coming out March 8th. We didn't rank that one. I'm ranking it a 1. I'm really not interested in it.
Yeah. 1.
I'm more interested in the stop motion one. Kung Fu Panda 4. I'm going 1 on this because I haven't seen the first 3.
That makes 2 of us, so that's a 1. Yeah, God, movies suck this year for us.
I mean, I typically like the DreamWorks films, but just the Kung Fu Panda films never really
At a
appealed to
certain
me.
point, and it's been so long, just make it for, streaming or direct to DVD.
I need to start making some new shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of making new shit, the next film coming out March 21st is a reboot of Roadhouse. This one stars Jake Gyllenhaal and fucking Conor McGregor.
Because you need more wrestlers in acting.
So
he's a UFC fighter. Thank you very much.
Yes, that's
what I said.
I like.
I'm looking at Mike turn red. The steam coming out from underneath his headphones.
Don't screw with my WWE.
What you gonna do, brother? I like the actress in it, Daniela Melchior. She was in Suicide Squad, the most recent one. She played the rat catcher. Jake Gyllenhaal looking pretty fucking buff in this film.
Is it a shame that I'm imagining Bubble Boy Jake Gyllenhaal saying "Pain don't hurt" in that?
I'm thinking of film debut Jake Gyllenhaal as Billy Crystal's son in the City Slickers. Pain don't hurt. So there's a reboot of the Patrick Swayze cult classic about bouncers being kind of more important than they actually are. like important enough to be famous. At least this one, they're giving him a backstory. He's a former UFC fighter, whereas Patrick Swayze was just like really famous for beating the shit out of people at bars.
And catching the dancers as they jumped up, he would catch them in the air.
Wrong movie.
All I remember about the original Roadhouse was how disturbing it is to see what's his name without a mustache.
Sam Elliott.
Sam Elliott.
You're going to be my regular Saturday night thing, baby.
I'm giving it a streaming 3 out of morbid curiosity.
I'm gonna give it a 2. A streaming 2.
I'll probably watch it just to fucking
2.
see, just to see it. Arthur the King, March 22nd, 2024. This is stars Mark Wahlberg, Simu Liu, who was Chang-Chi in the Ten Rings, Natalie Emmanuel, who was in Game of Thrones. She was Daenerys's the woman that was like her aide or whatever.
Oh yeah.
She's in it. It's based on a true event story about a man who befriends a stray dog during his journey to win the Adventure Racing World Championship, a treacherous 435-mile endurance race through the Dominican Republic. This seems like a straight-to-streaming movie to me.
Yeah, this is a 1 for me.
This is a 1. I'm not really that interested in it.
Coming soon to DVD.
Yeah. Straight to video. March 22nd, 2024, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, the sequel to Ghostbusters Afterlife. I like Ghostbusters Afterlife. I thought it was pretty entertaining.
Yeah.
It was
well done.
Not as good as the original Ghostbusters, obviously. No. Better than the all-female reboot.
Mm-hmm.
Probably on the same level as like Ghostbusters 2 in terms of quality. But I'm willing to see this just because they're bringing it back to New York.
Mm-hmm.
The original Ghostbusters minus Harold Ramis, of course, are going to be in it. Janine Melnitz gets a uniform and a proton pack in this one. So I'm curious to see this one. So I'm going to give this one a. I don't know if I go to the theater to see it. I'm giving it a gentleman's 4.
I'm gonna give it 3.
I'm saying 4.5 because if I want to go to the movies, this would be one of the movies I'd want to go for.
Yeah, I would say like if there was like a day where I had if I had a day and I just wanted to like go see a movie, I might go do it.
Mm-hmm.
But most likely I'll watch it on streaming. Godzilla Kong: The New Empire, March 29th. I did not see Godzilla and Kong, the first one.
Yeah, it was okay.
Ev, I know you saw it.
I did. It was okay.
I haven't watched a Godzilla movie since they quit doing the subtitles.
Yeah, like I haven't watched it since Japan 1972. Yes, like I'm not a kaiju monster movie guy.
No, but I mean, these have panned out pretty well. I was kind of excited to see what is it, Godzilla -1 or
that was actually really good.
Yeah,
that was really
there
good.
A Monarch series that also came out, which was based off of the
originals. Yeah, so Godzilla -1 was really good because they brought it back to Japan and made it kind of like it was when it was the Japanese kaiju films.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a really good one. This one's a 1 for me though because I haven't seen the first one. So
definitely
I'm gonna say 3, maybe 4.
Yeah. I'm gonna skip some here and there because we're gonna run long on this. I'm gonna try to get through some of these. April 5th, Dev Patel directs and stars in a film called Monkey Man, which looks like the Indian version of John Wick. Which, as a fan of John Wick, like I am, this is a gentleman's 4 for me. I'll probably check it out on streaming.
This is a 3 or 2 for me.
2.
You guys haven't seen John Wick yet.
I've seen John Wick 1, and to my understanding, it just gets more ridiculous from there.
Yeah. April 12th, Civil War 2024. This is not an Avengers film. This is a serious, provocative film starring Kirsten Dunst. I don't really. It doesn't give you like
Jesse
a great
Plemons.
description.
Isn't Jesse Plemons her husband now?
Yeah, she's married to Jesse Plemons. The film's official description calls it a race to the White House in a near-future America bounced on a razor's edge. It sounds like a movie that's trying to say something about the current state of affairs in America in a future dystopian kind of way. I'll give it a 2. I might watch it.
Probably a 1 for me.
Yeah,
1.5, something like that.
I got a gentleman's 4 on the next one. It's a film I may go see in the theater if I have time, but I'm definitely going to watch when it comes on streaming. It's a horror film called Abigail.
Okay.
Comes out on April 19th. It's about a group of criminals who abduct this little girl and hold her for ransom because she comes from a rich family, only to find out that she's not really a little girl, but a centuries-old vampire that they're now trapped in the house with.
Oh, I'm going to give that a strong 4.
Yeah, I saw the trailer for it, and it looks fucking batshit. And I'm like, I'm all over this film. It's definitely a streaming film, when it comes to the streaming networks, but it's another one like
premise. It's just the premise of it sounds
the
good.
premise sounds amazing. And I would probably go see it in the theater if I had a day where I'm just like, I feel like going watching something. The next one, I think I'm definitely going to go see this one in the theater when it comes out because it's a Guy Ritchie film, and I like The Gentleman was one of my favorite movies. I watch it all the time. I like Snatch, and I like Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. This is called The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. Stars Henry Cavill, Isaac Gonzalez, Henry Golding, Alan Ritchson, Carrie Elways. It's about a group of spies in World War II who were sent in by the British intelligence agency to sort of inglorious bastards their way through the Nazis. But this one is loosely based on real events. So,
like Valkyrie.
Yeah, like Valkyrie. So it looks really good. I watched the trailer. The trailer looks amazing.
No, I saw the trailer. It looks amazing.
Yeah, it looks like Henry Cavill in a role that's kind of different for him. It's not a superhero role or like The Witcher or anything like that. Isaac Gonzalez is fucking smoke show hot. She was in Baby Driver. She was John Hamm's girlfriend in that film.
Oh yeah.
Next one is called Challengers. This is a movie with Zendaya. Comes out April 26th. All I know about this one is it's supposed to be a sort of like risque kind of role for her, because it involves like a love triangle in the film.
It can't be much more risque than Euphoria.
I like Zendaya, but this is like a
2.
Maybe a 2 or 3 for me. I'll wait for it to come out streaming. In May, The Fall Guy, May 3rd with Ryan Gosling. I'm going to say right off the bat, this is a 2.
I'm going to give it a 3.
show?
Yes, it was.
It's based on a TV show. It's hit or miss when you have these movies based on TV shows. I mean, I like Ryan Gosling. It co-stars Emily Blunt, who I fucking adore. But I was never a big fan of the Fall Guy TV.
I was.
So, I mean, I don't know if it's like if an 80s TV show is going to translate into a 2024 action film, but I don't know. It might be entertaining. It looks like it could be. It's directed by somebody who used to be a stuntman, David Leitch. He was a stuntman on John Wick, Deadpool 2, Hobbs and Shaw, etc. So at least you got somebody who knows how to do stunts.
All right, guys, give me a second. I dropped the silly putty, and the dog's in the room with me.
Can't take Kevin anywhere.
Why do you have silly putty?
It's a fidget. It's something I do.
Why would you play with a fidget like that?
Kevin needs it. Kevin needs the fidget to keep him so focused.
Well, you didn't get the silly putty.
Worse than his students.
What are you looking for? Go. Oh gosh. All right. I found it.
This will be a fun segment to have to like edit out and put in the bloopers later.
So fine.
Okay.
May 10th, 2024. Back to Black.
I want to see this.
Biopic about Amy Winehouse.
I want to see this.
Early reviews are not great. It's directed by the same guy who directed 50 Shades of Grey, so we'll have to ask Dakota Johnson about him. I'll give this probably a 3. This is one I might give a chance on streaming.
I'll watch it. I'm going to stream it. I've been wanting
I'll
to
probably
watch
stream it. Yeah, it's 3.
The next one I'm kind of excited about. It looks really good, but I have to get caught up on some of the previous films still. It's Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Oh, I'm looking for it. This is a 5 for me.
Yeah, like it's right now it's like a 4, but it borders on a 5 because I have to like finish watching the previous films.
Exactly.
I've seen all 3 of the previous Matt Reeves. Well, I don't know if Matt Reeves did all 3 of the previous ones. I know he did.
He did the first 2. I
Right.
don't know who did
But
the one
I've
with
liked
the-
them. They've been really well done.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to lose anything with not having Andy Serkis, but
No, I mean it's supposed to be a little like further in the future though, right? Like so it's
Right.
not. It's
Right.
more like it's Caesar's like descendants and stuff, right?
my thought, yeah, it's Caesar's Descendants, and I think this is like approaching the 1960s version of Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The next one, I'm actually kind of excited about this. It looks cute. It looks like something like I could probably talk Katie into going to the theater to see with me.
This is a strong 4.
Yeah, it's called If. It stars Ryan Reynolds, John Krasinski, who also directed and wrote the script, and in voice roles in the film, playing some of the various imaginary characters: Phoebe Waller-Bridge, Steve Carell, Matt Damon, Emily Blunt, Maya Rudolph, and Awkwafina. It also co-stars Kaylee Fleming, who got her start on The Walking Dead as Rick Grimes' daughter. It's a movie about a like imaginary friends agency or something that takes care of abandoned imaginary friends. The trailer just looks like a really like a nice family film, you know. One I could talk my wife into going to see with me. So I'm gonna give it like a 4 on the border of 5. Like I might go see this in the theater if I can.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Go over there. 4.5.
4.5.
4.55. Just to inch a little bit closer.
May 24th, Furiosa, Mad Max Saga. This is the prequel to Fury Road, telling the story of a young Furiosa who was played by Charlize Theron in the original film and now played by Anya Taylor-Joy. I really like Fury Road. Fury Road was a fucking fun movie. It was one of those movies where it's like very little plot, but you don't care because the visuals and the action are so goddamn amazing. Prequels are hit or miss. The only thing I like is that it's still directed by George Miller, who's done all of the Road Warrior, Mad Max films, including Fury Road. So it has that going for it. And Chris Hemsworth looks pretty fucking psychotic in this film. So I don't want to. I'm gonna give this a 4 too. I think because I like Road Warrior films.
3 or 4.
Yeah. May 24th, the Garfield movie. It's an animated film. Fuck it, I'm done with that one.
Whoa. How come they don't have Bill Murray doing the voice of Garfield again?
No, it's not Bill Murray. It's Chris Pratt.
I know, but isn't it always Bill Murray who does the voice of Garfield?
It was.
It was in the live action films. It is Chris Pratt this time around.
It's Chris Pratt and Samuel L. Jackson as Vic, Garfield's father. Where the motherfucking lasagna at? If he does that,
it goes right up to a 6 for me. If I get like Snakes on a Plane, Samuel L. Jackson playing Garfield's dad, I'm all over that shit.
You can tell which litter box is mine. It's
got the word bad motherfucker written on it.
You got the spell bad motherfucker coming out of it.
Get this dumbass motherfucking dog away from me. if it's a watered down, kid friendly version of Sam Jackson, I might have to watch it just out of morbid curiosity anyway.
See, it's already gone up to a 3 right away.
Yeah, it's kind of growing a little bit. June 7th, The Crow.
Yeah.
Huh.
I'm kind of shocked.
Yeah, I didn't.
I'm surprised it's so soon because I really thought it was still in development. I didn't think it was going through production already.
Yeah, because I had read that Momoa was originally slated to play Eric Draven, but they're using Bill Skarsgård.
He was slated, and he even had costume test to see how it looked, and he did look pretty badass. But no, Bill Skarsgård was the one in It, wasn't he?
That was the other.
He was one of the Skarsgårds.
It was the other Skarsgård, the younger one.
They're all interchangeable anyway.
Bill Skarsgård was recently in a film called The Norseman, where he was like really like buff and shit. So I'm like,
okay,
he probably would look pretty good in this role.
Is Bill the one that played Tarzan?
Yes. Okay, so now I know who he is. Okay,
Yeah.
he can pull it off.
Yeah,
I just wonder how true they'll be. It doesn't need to be a remake of the original. The original has a special place in my heart. Okay. But I would like to see it follow the graphic novel a little bit closer.
Yeah, I hope they do it justice. I'm going to give this one like a 4 because I kind of I didn't realize. I honestly, and I looked at this list earlier and it didn't even dawn on me that it was on there. I was like, I must have just looked right over it because there's no trailer or anything for it yet.
No.
June 7th, Hitman, directed by Richard Linklater. That kind of throws me off because this is the guy that directed A Boy's Life or Boyhood or whatever that movie is where they followed the kid around for like 12 years as he grew up on film.
Yeah.
Like Richard Linklater doesn't scream Hitman film to me. My fucking computer just froze. Here we go.
Well, it's based on a 2001 article in Texas Monthly about a
undercover
police officer posing as a hitman
who helps a woman stuck in an abusive marriage.
Yeah.
It's a 1. I'm not really interested in that.
It's not based on a video game.
Yeah. June 14th, Bad Boys 4.
That's a 0.
That's a -2. If you told me that Chris Rock has a cameo in it where he gets to bitch slap Will Smith, I might give it a 3. I'm curious to see if this film does well though, given the Will Smith stuff, you know?
Right.
Like, is this long enough since that incident happened for it to blow over and it did actually do pretty well in the box office? But I'm not interested in it at all. Inside Out 2, June 14th. I like the first Inside Out. I thought it was a really well done movie. I don't know about this one.
Well,
it introduces anxiety.
Yeah, that could do all right.
I'm sure it'll probably do all right.
3.
Yeah, I'll give it probably like a 3.5.
Do they say what age Riley is when she's experiencing this thing? Because that would make a lot more sense if she was in her teens.
It says that this is going inside a teenager's head. That's all it says.
Now that she's in college. Okay.
Oh,
yeah,
now she's in college. Oh, wow.
Yeah, this could play out pretty well.
Yeah, it's a little wrinkle I didn't know about. Okay. The next one is June 21st, The Bike Rider, starring Austin Butler from Elvis and Jodie Comer from what was that TV show?
That's Kill Eve.
Killing Eve, yeah.
She
Tom
was also in
Hardy,
Free
Michael
Will.
Shannon, Norman Reedus. So this is a film about like a biker gang. I don't know much about this. I know it's supposed to be pretty good from what I was reading about it, but I haven't watched the trailer yet for this. So
Right.
I'm going to withhold voting because I don't know that much about it yet.
Any reason Norman Reedus can get to ride a motorcycle in a film?
I'm looking at the cast. I mean, the cast is pretty amazing, so it has potential. Quiet Place, Day 1, June 28th.
1.
I liked the original Quiet Place. It was really good. I did not see the sequel.
Sequel was okay.
Yeah, so I'm not sure about this one.
What I don't like is that John Krasinski's not attached to it. And when I've seen his interviews, he said when he didn't plan on doing 2, but when he had a story that he could, when he knew of the story for 2 and felt that the story helped the first movie, that's when he agreed to it. The fact that he's not tied to this makes me think this is a studio decision.
Money grab.
And
Yeah, like
money grab
let's.
makes
Well,
me
can
think
we
it's gonna
can we
go
get
down.
money out of making a prequel? Probably. Let's do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Lupita Nyong'o who stars in it, but I don't. Yeah, I'm not too excited about this one. I'm gonna give it a 1. Here you go, Mike. July, Beverly Hills Cop 4, Axel F.
-4.
Mike's still bitter about Beverly Hills Cop 3.
I am. 1 was great. 2 was okay, but 3 killed everything.
Yeah, I'm giving this a 1. I don't really have any interest in this.
Oh man, I'm looking forward to the comeback of Judge Reinhold and Paul Reiser.
What's his name makes a cameo in this as well? Bronson Pinchot.
Galsky.
Despicable Me 4, July 3rd. 1.
1.
Yeah,
1.
They were the first one was really good. They didn't need any more after that.
No, but I'll still watch it if it's streaming.
Long Legs, July 12th. This is a sort of like
8-legged freaks and
yeah, I was gonna say it's in the vein of like arachnophobia and 8-legged freaks and all that.
Can I go back to Despicable Me 4 real quick?
Despicable You?
Yes. You said you're watching if it's streaming. No, I watch if it's on like USA in the middle of
If he's like painting or something and has it on the background. Yeah.
Yes. I'm not actually streaming.
I like Steve Carell. I'll do it just for him. I want to support his.
I would support him. He looks
lifestyle.
like he needs help. Long Legs. I don't know much about it, but I see that Nick Cage is in it, so I'm probably going to watch it now, just so I can rub it in Kevin's face.
Kevin won't watch it now.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a gentleman's 2.
Now it's -5.
Here's one that I'm giving a -3 to. Twisters, the sequel to Twister.
It's a sequel to Twister.
Yes.
It just took 30 years to get it nailed down.
That's because it's their kids or their kid. One of them.
I don't know. It's originally it was going to be a remake of Twister, but then they decided to give it a, in quotes, new chapter. So they threw the S on the end.
Bill Paxton making an appearance in this one?
That's the thing. You can't recreate the charm of Bill Paxton.
Yes.
I'm sorry. So.
And you cannot recount the scene. We've got cows.
Yeah.
Come on.
It's they took the page out of James Cameron's book where they were trying to think of a name for the Alien sequel, and he just wrote a $sign at the end of Alien, and they went, "Oh, perfect." This is at least a 1 for me. Deadpool and Wolverine, July 26th. That's a 5. I'm going to see that motherfucker.
That's a 7. I'm seeing it 3 times in the theater.
I gave it 6 claws up. This one I just saw the trailer.
Wolverine the asshole.
Yeah. This one I just saw the trailer for, and it looks kind of funny, and I'm surprised to see Kate Blanchett in this film. It is Borderlands, based on the video game Borderlands.
Yeah.
Coming out in August.
Was this the one that they were going to make a TV series out of, or was that the other PlayStation game, the one with the cars?
Well, that one they did. That was Twisted Metal.
Twisted Metal.
Well, they did the series. There's a series on Peacock, which was actually really good. The first season was pretty good. This, I don't know. I didn't even know they were making a film for this. When I saw the trailer for it with Kate Blanchett, I was like, if you told me they were making a film based on the video game Borderlands, I would have said, Gentleman's 2. But then I saw Kate Blanchett in it, and I'm like, that's a 3.5 out of curiosity.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Still looks good.
Yeah, I might check it out on streaming or if I have a day to kill or something. I don't know.
Look, I mean, it's got Kevin Hart, Jack Black, Jamie Lee Curtis. It's got to be funny.
Yeah.
You know, I'm willing to look at it.
Next one is a horror film called Speak No Evil, August 9th, with James McAvoy and Mackenzie Davis. The remake of a 2022 Danish psychological thriller about a married couple with kids who meet another family on vacation, accept an invitation to visit their home, and begin to sense increasing undertones lurking behind the hospitality of their hosts. That's all it's telling me, and that's not enough for me to have interest in it.
No.
I need a little bit more description.
Yeah.
August 16th, Alien Romulus.
1.
Is this going to involve the engineers again?
I don't know, but I'm
with
happy that they're
engineers
finally
now.
including Alien in the title and not just skirting around it.
Well, they did with the last one, Covenant.
Yeah.
But it was, again, all about the engineers.
Yeah. This is a group of young people on a distant world find themselves in a confrontation with the most terrifying life form in the universe. That's all it says. I think this one is supposed to be more like, I think Romulus is the name of the planet. And it's kind of harkens back to like Aliens, where they're stuck on the planet with the creatures. Craven the Hunter, which I've seen trailers for.
I am actually curious about this one because it's the Andrew Garfield timeline.
Yeah. It's
I mean, I don't see anything good coming out of it because it's not an MCU movie.
Yeah. I'm getting like a little burned out with the superhero films anyway, because there's just like so many of them, and it's like, which one's Marvel, which one's not, which one's this timeline. The timeline thing's like killing me. Like right as far as like hero movies go, Deadpool's the only one I'm like really excited about right now. That and the next interview that Dakota Johnson gives about Madam Web. September 6th, Beetlejuice. I'm guessing if this does well enough, the third one will be called Beetlejuice.
That'd be great.
I'm
looking forward to this.
3.
I'm giving this one a 4. I love Beetlejuice. It's one of my favorite Burton films.
It just took so long to come out from the first one.
I know, but that's they got a name for it now. They call them the legacy sequels, like Top Gun Maverick. You know.
Yeah,
I like it though. I'm curious to see Jenna Ortega in it as Winona Ryder's daughter.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and Willem Dafoe's in it. I really want to know what the fuck Willem Dafoe's going to do in this movie. He like, Otho's brother. Like, so I'm going to give that a 4. Transformers 1.
It's an animated prequel.
Oh, it's an animated film. I was going to say, because it says Scarlett Johansson, Chris Hemsworth, John Hamm, Lawrence Fishburne. Returns to its roots with an animated prequel that explores the origins of the titular robot's homeworld of Cybertron.
And the rivalry between Optimus and Megatron.
This is a 2 to 3.
This is I'll watch it. I'll watch it on streaming because ScarJo's in it. Her voice. Untitled Saw sequel. I haven't watched a Saw movie since Saw 1, so I'm not really interested.
1.
October 25th, Terrifier 3. Kevin, you hate gore.
I hate it.
So I'm sure you have not seen the Terrifier films.
I have not.
I have. Don't watch them if you don't like gore. Wolfman. What the fuck? A Wolfman movie? Are they still trying to get the Dark Universe thing going?
Universal, man.
Wow. I can't believe they're still trying to get this shit going.
Too much about this film. Universal's next classic monster reboot comes courtesy of the director who brought us the surprise 2020 hit, The Invisible Man.
That was actually a really good movie, The Invisible Man.
Didn't see it.
It was a very cool take on the Invisible Man story.
Okay.
But I don't know, man. Like, I feel like they're still pushing this fucking Dark Universe shit.
They are.
Yeah. November 8th, Venom 3. I like the first Venom. Second Venom was
I don't think Venom can carry a series by himself, though.
Yeah, I don't know. This one though, he's gonna be like in the Spider-Man universe because he got
The Tom Holland universe, right?
yeah he got like blipped there in the last movie or something. I'll give it like a 3.
Yeah.
2, 3.
I mean,
yeah.
I'll definitely watch it when it comes on streaming, but I'm not going to go to theater to see it. Gladiator 2. Talk about a legacy sequel.
Yeah, no
November
kidding.
22nd. Ridley Scott returns to direct the sequel to the historical epic Gladiator. The story will reportedly revolve around a grown-up Lucius, who was Joaquin
The
Phoenix's
nephew.
nephew, right?
Yeah.
Who has become the new emperor and will see the return of Connie Nielsen as Lucilla. It also stars Denzel Washington. Ooh. That's a 3.5.
Yeah.
That's another like morbid curiosity kind of thing. Moana 2.
You're welcome.
Lost in Hawaii.
I fucking love Moana. It's probably one of my top,
Starring TVA. They even got The Rock to come back yet?
Yeah, it's one of my favorite of the most recent Disney animated musical films and shit. I really hope they get. It says featuring the voices of Aioli Cravalho and Dwayne Johnson, who did the voices in the first one. So, I don't know.
No.
I feel like if they did like a release, theater and streaming release same day thing, like on Disney Plus or something, I'd probably watch it.
Probably.
So I'll give that one like a 4. Because I would like to see it, but I'm not going to go to the theater for it.
Yeah, I give it a 3 or 4.
Wicked, November 22nd or 27th rather, starring Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande.
That's a
Is
solid 4,
Adrian
maybe a 5.
gonna drag you to the theater to see that one?
She might.
Because I know it's her favorite musical.
I don't know if it's her favorite musical, but
I know she likes it a lot. So
yeah,
that's a 3 for me. I'm not that interested in this. I love Wizard of Oz. I mean, I'm not.
I give it a 4 just because I like the Wizard of Oz story.
Yeah.
I probably want to see it if it was streaming or, aside from that hiccup with the what was that? The magical and wonderful, the mystical
the
wizard.
one with Franco.
James Franco.
Yeah, that was terrible.
Hey.
I thought you guys were going to trash the Return of Oz too, because
I like Return of Oz.
No, Return of Oz.
I still have nightmares about it 37 years later.
It's a treasure.
The Karate Kid, December 13th. Now I was like, what? They're doing another Karate Kid? And then I read the description and I'm like, this is interesting. The popular Netflix series Cobra Kai has helped keep the iconic 80s martial arts franchise alive and kicking into popular consciousness. And in 2024, Sony will head back to the IP dojo with a new installment. Thought to be an unconnected original film, it is now revealed that Ralph Macchio and Jackie Chan will star alongside each other in the film as their characters, Danny LaRusso and Mr. Han, basically bringing the original Karate Kid and the reboot Karate Kid into the same universe. That has me interested as long as Jaden Smith doesn't show up in it. So I'm giving that one a wavering 3.5. You guys still there? I don't really hear you right now.
It's about a 3 for me.
Okay. Yeah, I lost a little bit of the sound there for a sec.
That's
Mike, how about the next
definitely-
one? Animated prequel film to The Lord of the Rings called The War of the Rohirrim.
I give that a strong 4.
I give that a 4 just because it's Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
An animated prequel that follows the exploits of Helm Hammerhand, the legendary king of Rohan, home of the horsemen known as the Rohirrim. Brian Cox lends his voice to the central character who reigned 183 years before the events of the Two Towers. And Miranda Otto returns as Eowyn.
All right. Miranda Otto.
Yeah, I'll give that a 4.
Mm-hmm.
The next one I'm giving a 1 just because I'm like, leave the Lion King alone.
Yep.
It is Mufasa. It is a prequel to The Lion King.
Another live action.
Yeah, another quote unquote live action.
Live action, yes.
That's a 1.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
care.
Sonic the Hedgehog 3. I haven't seen either of the first 2 Sonics.
-3.
Yeah, I have no desire to see that movie.
And the next one, I'm kind of curious about this for 2 reasons. This is Nosferatu, December 25th. This is a remake of the silent film from 1922. No, this stars Bill Skarsgård. He was the one who played Pennywise.
And he's the one that's in The Crow.
And that's the other Skarsgård, we said.
Not according to
Right?
IMDb.
Is it? Which one did I say was in The Crow? Was that Bill Skarsgård?
You said it was Tyrone Skarsgård.
Yeah, there's too many fucking Skarsgårds. No, maybe you're right. Yeah, Bill Skarsgård, who was in. All right, we got to figure this shit out because this is fucking unwilling me. Bill
I think that's going to
Skarsgård.
be our next episode. Is going to be analyzing the Skarsgårds.
Yes, figuring out who the Skarsgårds are. Bill Skarsgård played Pennywise in It, and is going to be in this film now, playing the titular Nosferatu, whose name is Count Orlok. The other Skarsgård that is starring in The Crow is. It also says Bill Skarsgård, so it's the same guy, Bill Skarsgård. I thought it was the other brother. I don't know. Whatever. What? You take them or leave them. You know, they're interchangeable. The
At least
Skarsgårds.
it's not the father.
It's not Stellan Skarsgård, no.
Yeah, it's
But
a little over some of the roles.
So I'm curious to see this one though because Willem Dafoe is in it. Willem Dafoe was in Shadow of the Vampire, which was about the filming of Nosferatu, where he played Count Orlok, and now he's in the reboot of the film about Count Orlok. But it doesn't say like who he's playing here.
Well, he's only in this because he can do his own stunts.
I don't know. So, but I mean, this one to me is like probably like a 3 or 4, somewhere like 3.5, maybe. Like I'll watch it when it comes on streaming.
Yeah.
And to be announced still, Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse, the 3rd film in the animated Spider-Man trilogy.
When you're launching a new product,
I'm going to withhold the vote on this one because I haven't seen the second one yet. I really, really like the first one, but I still have to watch the
I
second
like the
one.
first one. I haven't seen the second one.
Kev, you saw the second one, right?
I did. The second one was good. It left me hanging because I mean it literally just kind of ends, and you're kind of shocked that it went by as quick as it did because it didn't seem quite that long, you know. But it was good. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I want to see it, but I still have to get to the second one.
Kind of like the Miles Morales storyline as well. I know we're all kind of like sick of the multiverse, but like the Miles Morales Spider-Man was kind of introduced already, and it's interesting.
But I feel like they did it right the way they did it in the first one.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it wasn't like about like all these different things. It was like they brought all these characters into the same place together to solve a problem. So, all right, that is the list of most anticipated films of 2024. Give us an email and let us know if we missed anything. What movies are you excited about? We'd love to hear from you, and we'd love to know. Mike, do you have any?
Thrilled about too many of the movies this year.
Yeah. Do you have any beer trivia history for us this evening, Mike?
I have some beer history for you guys. Some historians believe beer may have predated bread, especially among nomadic civilizations. A Stanford archaeologist team uncovered 13,000-year-old stone mortars in a cave in what was once Palestine, along with other evidence of beer production by a group of hunter-gatherers called the Natufian people. It is theorized beer was brewed for ritual and spiritual needs before, or perhaps in conjunction with agriculture.
That makes sense. I know I'm usually praying a lot after I drink a lot of beer.
praying to the porcelain god.
Says a lot about the human race that beer was invented before bread. How are your drinks this evening?
Good. I enjoyed it.
My first one was a little hoppy. The second one, the oatmeal stout from Vault Brewing, is kind of, covering up the flavor, so it was good.
And the Heaven Hill bourbon that I got is a pretty good bourbon. I don't know if it's going to replace some of my favorite ones, but it's an enjoyable one.
After these messages, we'll be right
back.
Hey movie lovers, it's Jackson here from the Back to the Blockbuster podcast. If you've ever wanted to hear an amateur cinephile and an industry professional chat about film and television, then look no further, because every week my co-host Gaius and I, we bring you the latest industry news, break down the most recent trailers, try to beat the box office with our weekly predictions, and dive into our favorite movies on their anniversaries. And every second Friday, you can look forward to the Back to the Blockbuster spin-off, Deep Dives with Owen and Gaius, where the duo dissects a movie of their own choice. All this and more wherever you get your podcasts.
So thank you everybody for joining us tonight for episode 141, a preview of the films coming out this year in 2024. We hope you enjoyed listening to the podcast as much as we enjoyed recording it for you. Don't forget, you can drop us an email at filmsoffermentation@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you, like to know what movies you're excited to see this year. We'd also like some show suggestions, drink suggestions, or just pop in and say hi. You can find all of our other social media and podcast links at linktree.com/filmsandfermentation. Support us on Patreon or buy our merchandise at teespring.com. Find out more about us and the other podcasts at the Deluxe Edition Network, The Den, by going to deluxeeditionnetwork.com. Don't forget to stop by the crossroads between Pickled and Fermented next time around for episode 142, sci-fi films that get the science right. Again, I'm Leo.
I'm Kevin.
I'm Mike.
You've been listening to the Films and Fermentation podcast. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
The Films and Quizmentation.
We can just call ourselves the Films and Fermentation podcast team and just advertise the show.
Might as well.
Could do that too.
What else you got?
This may not work out so well with your school, but the Quizzically Challenged.
That's a misnomer because we are not quizzically challenged.
Risky Quizness.
I like that one. That's kind of funny.
That's good. I looked some of these up. So, drinking team with a trivia problem.
Definitely us.
That's our team name. That's the team name right there.
That is the
drinking team with a trivia problem.
I thought this one was pretty good too. We thought this was speed dating.
I just had to say something about
that
it.
Should be the name. That should have been the name of this podcast: Drinking Team with a Quizzo problem.
Drinking team with a movie problem.
I could probably do it because I don't think I have anything going on tomorrow night, but I don't know what your schedule is like.
Don't think I have anything going on.
Well, don't you make yourself unavailable on a Friday?
I've already done that a couple times because we've had to postpone this thing.
I was gonna say, like, is it Friday night date night now or something? Or
well, yeah, God knows.
Not after last week.
Friday, the only date he has on Friday nights with rosy fingers.
I don't know if I can even do that with my joint. I'll throw my shoulder out. Oh!
Use the left hand. It's like having sex with a stranger.
I was rejected by my left hand.
Welcome to Films and Masturbation.